Okay, family, so as you can see by the title, this is one of the requested videos, and I'm going to be talking to you in bits and pieces because there's a lot about leaving corporate America. So, very first thing I want to say to anybody who is considering leaving corporate America is you really need to know why you're leaving, because leaving may not be the solution. So, okay, a lot of people are like, I don't like my job, or I don't like what I'm doing, or I don't like my boss, or I don't like my hours, or I don't like my pay, whatever the case may be, right? And that's valid, absolutely. But you really have to say, okay, if I found a job that looked like this, would I be okay with that? And if the answer is yes, leaving corporate America may not be the route. You may just need to adjust the kind of job that you have. So if you feel like you're being underpaid, one, do some research, find out if you are in fact being underpaid, or if you just want more money, because there is a difference between being underpaid and wanting more money. You can go to salary.com, you can kind of put your education, your years of experiences, your special certifications in there, and the title of your job, and kind of get a median salary for your area. Okay, so you can't, live in Timbuktu talking about they pay them XYZ in New York. The cost of living is different. Okay, and I want to be clear here, do not base it just on your education or your experience, because sometimes it's what the job dictates. For instance, I got 2 engineering degrees and a culinary degree, and if I went to go work for a restaurant that wanted to pay me $12 an hour, I can't be like, well, actually, because I got a degree in engineering, you need to pay me XYZ. The job just doesn't demand that, even if my degree demands X amount of dollars, okay? So keep that in mind. The second thing is, so you can ask for an equity adjustment, or if you know people in your office, similar experience, similar performance, whatever, if you know the scale, if you've been privy to some information, you can have a private discussion, particularly if you're a well performer. Now, I do not suggest this if you are not a good performer and you know whether or not you being halfway raggedy on a job or not, but you can ask for an equity adjustment. You can say, this is what the going rate is for someone with my skill sets, my performance level. This is what the other employees roughly have going on. I would like you guys to do a salary review and adjust my salary accordingly. Okay? I mean, the worst thing they can say is no. And then you can ask them, well, why wouldn't you do a review? I mean, you can just ask. And do not let them tell you that because of budgets, okay, they're not going to do any salary requirements. That is a lie, and a lie. That is what they tell people who are not favored well. Now, sometimes it is true, but most companies can do an equity adjustment anytime they want to. Typically, most people who will get an equity adjustment are people they do not want to lose. Okay? So, think about that. Okay, if you don't like your hours or if you don't like your boss, let me tell you a secret. Particularly when it comes to boss, you're going to always run into a boss you don't like. Sometimes you're going to have a great boss. Sometimes you're going to have a boss that just is the worst thing ever. And so you need to think about that you can change, or you need to learn to manage your manager, which oh Lord, I need to do a whole series about managing your manager and managing your work-life balance, but that's not my zone anymore. So before you say, I want to leave, I want you to really think about that. Think about list the pros and cons of your job. I mean, because one thing that a lot of people don't think about, even when switching jobs, not just leaving corporate America, is you already know what you got going on at that job. You know who the rats and the snakes are. You know who the cool people are. You know what buttons to push to get ahead. You know the business. You know the operation. Okay. You know the watch outs, the pitfalls, the snakes in the grass. You know all of that. And it's how you can choose to perceive your job or your position. Okay. So you really need to list all the pros and the cons. And it may, if you are contemplating leaving, I know the cons list is going to come out to be a little bit longer, but I would tell you there is something about a steady, stable paycheck that people underestimate when they go to become entrepreneurs. And I'm going to do a whole other video on, there is a difference between being self-employed and being an entrepreneur. Okay, there's two completely different things, often mistaken one for another. So anyway, I don't want this video to be super long, but that's my first video about, you need to know why you're leaving. However, if you say, you know what, this is not a bad job, this is not a bad company, I just want to be doing something completely different. I use this analogy. I learned this at some workshop I went to, but they said, think of it like a house with, you know, couches and sofas and rooms and different levels. Some people are in the right house. That means they're in the right line of work. They're just in the wrong seat or in the wrong room, right? So, you know, when I was working for culinary companies, it was cool. I mean, it was doable, but I always wanted more. I was in the right house, which is food, in the wrong seats. Okay, when I was in engineering, I was like, I'm in the wrong neighborhood. Does that make sense? So you look at that. But if you can say, you know what, I'm not even on the right, I'm not even around in the right state. You know, if you are a doctor, but you spend all your free time teaching or preaching or doing makeup or hair or dance or landscaping or interior design, whatever. I mean, you could be an eyebrow archer, okay? Whatever you do, if that's what you continuously learn about on your own, not because it's required, but because you enjoy it, if that's what you read about, if that's what you, when you're pondering around on the internet, if that's what you look at, if that's what your bookmarks are, if that's where you spend your money, if that's where whatever, there are going to be signs in your life that are going to show you where your interests lie. If it's not readily available, it's the question people always ask. If money were not an option, if money were not was not an issue, what would you do? What would you get up and do every day? Or what do you do for free for people all the time? Okay, that's a good starting place. Another starting place is, think about your childhood. I remember cooking all the time. My earliest memory of cooking, I was 6 years old, and I remember. And then I kind of lost my way along the way, but when I started looking back after I had made the decision to change, I was like, oh, this has been there from the beginning. I got off track. But you know, all things work together. So anyway, that's the end of video 1. And okay, it's really, really long. So ponder on this, you know, get you some quiet time, journal it, think about it. I've been watching Oprah's Life class. It's really, really good. Yeah. Think about why you want to leave, because if you leave for the wrong reasons, you will not stick to the right venture, and you will continue to be unhappy in whatever pursuit that you choose if it's for the wrong reasons. Money is not necessarily always the right reason to leave something. You can always generate more cash, but time you cannot, nor can you fake passion. So I'll talk to you next time, family. I'm long-winded as usual, but I hope this is a great start. Be on the lookout for these. I will call them Leaving Corporate America. This is volume 1. Why do you want to roll out? All right, peace, family. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.